Nevada is an intimidating place. It's the most mountainous state in the lower 48. It's rugged from top to bottom. And most of the time, if you need help, there is no one around for miles in every direction. And it's all of those reasons that also make it an outstanding overlanding destination. So when Kate and I decided to tackle the Nevada BDR, a 900-mile trek from north to south, all on back roads, in 5 days, we had to fight some serious doubts. But what we discovered was a side of Nevada that no one sees. A hidden place full of awe and beauty. An overlanding adventure that was so spectacular, we'll never look at Nevada the same way again.
So this is 6,000 feet, and that's 85, or we're staying at 88.
Mm-hmm. You go off-road again.
Kate and I decided to tackle the Nevada Backcountry Discovery Route, a 900-plus mile dirt road trek from north to south.
There's a Pony Express Trail, and then Stokes Castle. Trying to find it.
As excited as we were to start, there was a lot of work to get done before day one. We had a brand new stock Jeep Gladiator Mojave named Trip that needed modifications before it was ready to go. So I spent every day of the 2 weeks leading up to the trip in the garage getting things unboxed, assembled, installed, and tested. We put on an RSI Smart Cap with Frontrunner load bars to carry a tent, Apex front sway bar connectors, a basic bed liner, 12-volt power in the back for a fridge, a radio for comms, and the Sawtooth recovery bag from Factor 55, something that saved my Jeep later in the trip. On our Jeep Wrangler 392 named Finnegan, we put a new worn winch with the Factor 55 Flat Link E, so we had at least one rig with a winch. Plan was that we'd each drive a rig and carry a kid, Kate and Trip and me and Finnegan. Having two rigs would make sure we'd be able to recover each other if we got into trouble, and would give our kids lots of room, not to mention more storage for gear. It also meant we'd be running 2 tents. We bought an Intrepid Geo 2.5 rooftop tent that would be Kate's, and I would use our Roof Nest Falcon Pro. However, Kate had never opened and closed a rooftop tent before, so we practiced setting up and tearing down a few times the week before we set out. Nevada is a tricky BDR. This is because the weather can be wildly different from top to bottom. It can be 100 plus degrees in the south and snowing in the north. But we thought it might be possible in late September. Normally it takes 7 to 9 days to complete the route, but we only had 6. And just to make things a little more interesting, the night before we left, a snowstorm moved through the mountains above our jumping off point, Jarbidge, Nevada. Welcome to the Nevada BDR. We are starting today in Jarbidge, Nevada, which is the most remote town in the lower 48 states.
So we came in, and I'm like, look at the blue skies, it's gonna be great. And I gotta tell you, I see clouds right now, they're dark. It's a cold, cold air.
Yeah.
I think we're gonna hit snow.
We're gonna walk around for a little bit, we're gonna grab some gas, and then we're gonna head out.
Do it. All right, and here we go. We're doing the BDR. Adventure begins now.
Okay, Nevada BDR 2023, here we go. Let's do it! Camped up in these mountains at the beginning of the Idaho BDR, but I've never explored up here. This is crazy.
Yeah, super, super pretty, and I love the different trees, and I feel like the colors are changing. It's gorgeous.
Well, it is snowing, but I don't see too much snow on the road.
Yeah, I think we're going to be okay.
Whew.
Skirting along the Jarbidge mountain range, with peaks reaching almost 11,000 feet to our left, we were filled with optimism for the journey ahead. Luck was on our side with the weather, and we were feeling pretty smart about choosing September as the month to run all of Nevada.
This does not feel like what I imagined Nevada to be.
Yeah, 100%. It's way more mountainous.
But we were off to an amazing start. Nevada would find ways to challenge us later in the day. But for now, we were living in the bliss of a great beginning to a long journey. But we just came through this mountain pass, the Jarvich Mountains. And it was incredible. The road was in fantastic shape. Like it was barely even rocky, and it good grip. Like, you know, it was just as good a road as you could hope for in one of these trips. The scenery was fantastic. I mean, wow. I've never really explored this part of Nevada. It's just so beautiful. So now we're getting down into the desert, and we're trying to go a little bit faster right now because we have so many miles to put in today. I think we've got another 150 miles to go from right now, and it's like 12:30. So Kate and I are both kind of like type A's. We like to meet our goals. So we're gonna try to make this next campsite, but it's gonna mean pushing pretty hard. So that's what we're gonna do right now.
So in the motorcycle version of the Nevada BDR movie, this is where they all got stuck in the snow trying to make it to Jarvich.
Yeah, I totally remember that. I'm so glad we are doing this the time of year we're doing it. I think we're just going to thread that needle. So I just have to say this, we have a long day ahead of us, and I'm just looking at the clock and I'm getting a little nervous about, you know, just picking up the pace a little bit here.
We'll be fine. What could possibly go wrong?
Ooh, baby! We are making some time on these roads. This is just like, I don't know, it's not really flat, it's like rolling hills desert, but the roads are wide, they're solid, they're not really rocky. They're, you know, a few ruts here and there, but for the most part, it's just like, I'm not gonna tell you how fast we're going, but I tell you this, we're making up some time, and I think we're making some good time right now. So I don't know how long this is gonna continue, but we're gonna keep pushing as hard as we can through this desert area. Through this desert area. The whole state of Nevada is desert area, although I think there's some mountains too, but we'll see. Anyway, we're gonna keep pushing hard through this stuff. So we can make it to the area of, I think it's Jibs. I don't know, it's like 30 miles south of Elko is essentially our target, something like that. So I'll tell you more as we get closer, but it's going well. This might be a good time to disconnect your sway bars depending on the road here.
Yeah, can you show me again? I'd love a tutorial. I mean, I kind of remember I twisted, but I'd love one more help to get it done right.
So one of the things with this new Mojave is that it does amazing on these desert roads. It's like a desert runner, right? That's why they named it a Mojave. We'll actually be driving through part of the Mojave Desert in the Mojave. However, they don't give you automatically disconnecting sway bars like the Rubicons, which is one of my biggest hang-ups. So what we did is we bought this system that makes it really, really easy, and Kate's about to do it for the first time, so let's see. All right, all you gotta do is reach in there, turn that knob back towards the Jeep. Yep, now it's disconnected.
Well, that was extremely easy.
Well, this is starting to feel like what I think of Nevada.
Yeah, totally. Lots of sagebrush. But I gotta say, I feel like nobody's been out here in a really long time.
Yeah, the landscape looks familiar to me. It kind of feels like eastern Oregon, southwestern Idaho, but it also feels like we're much farther away.
Yeah, it feels pretty dang remote.
With the Bone Mountains to our east and the Independence Range to our west, we kept heading through these sagebrush hills. We were feeling all of the excitement and anxiety of being on a big adventure. It's a fine line between enjoying where you are and wondering what's coming ahead. One of the things that makes Nevada unique is its relationship with water. The Native Americans and trappers that first crossed this land didn't navigate from east to west or north to south. They navigated from water to water in order to survive. So much for the fast roads. We are now in the slow stuff. Kind of feels like we're in the middle of the desert here, because I think we are in the middle of the desert. Out in the sagebrush sea, the ocean of desert fauna, and we've got some beautiful mountains all around us, but we're just making slow time now. So I'm glad that we had some fast roads. These roads are kind of fun to drive because they're rutted out and washed out. Nothing that's like, you know, too extreme, but it's fun to like have to drive a little bit like that. Maybe not hit that so hard, Will. And we're just making our way a little bit slowly, but we're making our way through the desert, hopefully to Elko soon. There you go, always put the fence back.
Yep.
Looks like we're kind of winding our way towards a creek or a little river or something.
Yeah, and just the trail is so overgrown.
Yeah, I'm not really seeing any tracks out here.
I'm really surprised right now because this this road is super rugged. Like, not driven. Doesn't feel like anybody's been out here in a long time. There's like sagebrush and grass growing in the middle of the road, like up past the ceiling of the rig. So then we came to this water crossing. It just doesn't look like it's been driven. It's making me like question if we're on the right track or not, but we're clearly on the track. So this crossing doesn't look too bad. Probably looks like it's, I don't know, maybe 18 inches deep or something. I can see the bottom, so I don't need to walk it. Plus that looks like really gross water. And on the other side, it looks like, you know, there's just like barely a road over there. So I don't know, let's give it a shot. Crossing success.
Hey, we did it. It was deeper than I thought it was going to be.
It wasn't too bad though. That gladiator rolled right through it.
Okay, good. All right.
You look like a pro.
All right.
Kate, are you sure this is the right route?
Yeah, it almost makes me want to like triple check the map here. I mean, I know we're on the trail, but it's hard to believe no one else has been here.
It feels like we have wandered off the route. Every time we look at the map, it shows that we're right on it.
I think you just mansplained me, but you're right. I agree.
This is like the last place we want to get lost.
Well, that's why we got 2 rigs, yo. Hey, Will, I feel like this is maybe an old creek bed, but it's all dried out and it's just a little dicey in here.
I'm coming.
That is not good. At all.
So I think I was feeling maybe a little overconfident, and I was like, I can do this. And I was like, I don't need Will to spot me, and I probably should have. So I think what I did is I hit the frame, the undercarriage frame.
On a rock.
On a rock. So.
Yeah, you know, this is truck life. I can see where you scratched the frame.
Yeah.
This is truck life, you know, like you've got a longer breakover, and so you have a higher likelihood of scraping on some of the stuff. It's fine. This is not a big deal. These rocks are kind of, they'll move with the rig because we're like in a riverbed, so they're not like dug in.
Yeah.
So even though you scraped a little bit, it's not anything that's gonna do any damage. But let's get you through this thing without scraping anymore, yeah?
Thank you.
Okay. That's fine. Just keep going.
Yeah, that didn't feel so good, Will. So sorry for not scraping anymore. I'm sorry.
Don't worry about it, Kate. That's just part of driving a truck, and this one has smaller tires on it. So, you know, I won't be surprised if this happens again on this trip.
Excuse me. Do you know the way to Elko? We're trying to find Elko and internet. We want internet too. Please? Please?
I don't know. I just feel like we're getting lost.
I'm looking, and we are absolutely 100% on the route.
This just seems like such an odd place to go.
So our general strategy for the BDR is to do like 1 or 2 hard days where we push it, and then 1 or 2 easier days where maybe we have early camp or something like that, just to make it a little easier on ourselves so we're not so tired. When we did the Oregon American Overlander route, every day was a marathon, and we were just so exhausted at the end of it. It didn't feel like a restorative trip. We were just tired. I mean, it was fun and it was a great adventure, but we're trying to make this one a little bit of both. So we'll see if we can hold true to that. It's a long way to go, and Nevada is a really interesting place to drive through because it's so remote and so desolate. I don't know if we're gonna have roads that allow us to go real fast every day. So we'll see what happens, but our plan is to give ourselves a break. Today is a hard day, so we're pushing today so we can get far enough that we can have an easy day the day after tomorrow. We'll see if it really happens.
I should probably get out and test this little drainage, but I'm just gonna go for it, Kate. This is not good.
Are you stuck?
I am stuck.
Would you like some traction boards?
So this BDR has sent us through a bit of a mud bog. And honestly, I couldn't really see what it was when I drove down there. It looked like grass, but I probably should have known it was boggy. And I'm good and stuck now. So we're gonna try traction boards. We have all kinds of recovery. This is why we brought all the recovery equipment. We've got traction boards, we've got a kinetic rope, which is really good for this situation when you're kind of stuck in the mud. Kinetic rope's really great for that. I have the winch, so it's gonna be tough to winch myself out. But if I can get across, then I could winch Kate across in the truck. But let's go get the 392 unstuck first. This was the worst kind of marsh. The mud was really wet and the Jeep was sunk down to the axles in the front, which meant every spin of the tire was digging us in more. Let's get a shot.
Smells like cow manure.
I was getting no traction in the front or the back, so I started digging down in order to get the traction boards more under the tires.
That is not good. Nothing. I'm worried that you won't be able to get traction because you don't have traction on the front tires.
I mean, I have it four-wheel drive locked.
Then do you want to try it first? So before you dig?
Might as well.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. No luck. I mean, I've got 4 low, lockers engaged, and there's just no traction, and it's just like the mud just sucks you down. So I think what we should do is try the kinetic rope. Maybe just put that on the back of the, turn the gladiator around, and give me a tug going up the hill there, trying to back me out. But then the problem is, how do we get across? This is the route.
Yeah.
It just doesn't seem like this is a route. It doesn't seem like anybody's driven this. So we might want to investigate whether or not one of these roads goes around, because I mean, I can see the road there.
Yep.
But this is
a hot mess.
This is a hot mess. Yeah, it's a stinky mud pit.
Yeah.
So right now I'm just like, let's get out of it. Let's try to get out of it.
Okay.
We'll figure out how to get out.
Okay.
I think we should do the kinetic rope. Let's get out the Factor 55 recovery kit and see what we got.
Okay, I'm ready when you are.
3, 2, 1.
Go, go, go. Keep going, keep going. Almost got it. Stop, 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 stop.
Holy shit! Okay! Alright. We survived.
I'm sure there's a lot we did wrong on this, but the bottom line is no one got hurt and we got my Jeep out of that mud bog. So that's a win. Now we're going to figure out what to do next, but mud bog, I don't know. Hurted.
Okay. So Will has found 2 of 4 traction boards. Oh man.
Oh, let's get 2. Let's see if I can find it all. Not good.
I mean, that just gives you a little sense of the nastiness. Celebratory chips. They're so delicious.
I have soaped myself off pretty good.
Yes.
Camp suds and
Campsites
water.
for the win.
Changed my clothes.
We've used up 2 of our roto packs.
It's like 3 gallons of water.
We brought 4, and I think we're down to 1.
Do not go this way.
Yeah.
Do not go this way ever, any time of year, because
No.
September should be dried out.
Should be totally dried out.
So
we got lucky, honestly, that we got you pulled out. I feel like the way we did.
Yeah. Hey, this is a plug for Factory 55 recovery gear. So, you know, I'm thinking about Justin from Factory 55 in my head. He's saying, try to get a center pull point because that's going to get you out evenly. And this is why we have this hitch thing to put in the back. So I did all that. And we didn't have that for the Gladiator, but we used the recovery hook on the back. Even though it was on the side, it was enough to get us out. We made it. And now I think we're going to maybe not complete the route the way we thought we were going to today, but we're going to trudge on and we're going to keep going. We might be night driving tonight to get into camp.
Honestly, I'm just glad we're driving.
Yeah, I know, same.
I want to also give a plug for not, honestly, traveling alone. And I know a lot of people do overland alone, but we thought a lot about taking one rig out here. And this is actually exactly why we didn't.
Exactly why.
Exactly why we thought, gosh, we're going to be out in the middle of nowhere and we need, with our family, we need to be able to bug out. And thank goodness. I mean, we were like, worst case, we all hop in the Gladiator and we go to Elko and we get a tow truck.
Right.
I mean, worst case.
Yeah.
And we would have been able to.
But we had that option.
Had we only been in the 392, it would have been a very, very different. So anyway, I'm glad it worked out.
Me too.
Here we go.
All right, let's keep going. Here we go.
Well, I feel like we're licking our wounds and backtracking right now.
I'm exhausted, but I'm glad we're moving. I'm glad we're rolling.
Honestly, it feels like we're on another planet right now.
What if I run away to Mars?
Okay, I think we can reroute back to the highway from here.
Would you find me in the stars? Would you miss me in the end if I run out of oxygen when I run away to Mars?
There is some spark and smoke coming out of the back of your Jeep. You need to pull over.
This metal cloak muffler skid, which has saved my muffler a few times already, started to catch fire. So all of this you can see right here. This is sagebrush that got caught in there and then it got pinned up against the muffler. And we're driving and Kate said she saw smoke behind me and sparks coming out the back of my 392. So I immediately pulled over. We're just barely on the side of the highway right now. But this is not good. So I'm trying to just use a stick. I can see embers under my muffler right now. I'm trying to use a stick to get all this stuff out, get those embers. I don't know, maybe I'll pour some water in there or something just to put out the embers. Soak that stuff. That's not good. So this is in my muffler. You can see that one's still burning. This one's still burning. I thought I smelled sage. It smelled like someone was smoking weed under my car. There was smoking weed. It was just sagebrush. So this is not good.
With the dark sky above us, we headed into Elko to spray the rigs off and get to camp as quickly as possible. Day one had us feeling like our butts were kicked, so we found a campground about 15 miles outside of town, and we're grateful for a spot to rest for the night.
With my feet hanging out, do I look like the Wicked Witch?
What are you doing?
Oh my gosh, what a crazy day. We just set up our tents. Kids are in bed. Kate's in bed. I'm about to get in bed. I think this was like a 15-hour day. So, hopefully tomorrow goes smoother, but I wouldn't trade it. I mean, those things that happened today were memories that we'll have for a long time, but wish it were a little easier, but it's still pretty rad. So here's to easier day tomorrow. Good night.
They say a good night's sleep goes a long way, and we had a long way to go. While we don't normally like to stay in campgrounds, it was hard to complain about having a nice spot with tables and a bathroom to recover from the day before. Our mission this morning, after coffee of course, was to figure out where we were heading and to get back on the road as quickly as we could.
Good morning. It's cold this morning. Last night, I don't know how cold it got, but it got down below freezing. All our water was frozen this morning. So it was a surprise. We thought the forecast said maybe 38 degrees. And it was a really bad night to discover that the zipper was broken in my sleeping bag. So I was doing acrobatics last night to stay warm. But we are up. It's probably like 6:30 right now. I think sun just popped up. We are just trying to get on the road.
So we broke down camp and then broke out the map for a quick consult on what was coming next.
Our goal is to get
Past
Austin, Nevada.
This is like one of the biggest days, and then Austin's actually up on this.
So we're doing two sections today?
No, it's one.
Okay.
It's one.
Feels like...
It's section 5, Elko to Austin.
Oh, okay.
With the way they've shown it on the map.
I see.
But I was just reading it, and it was like it's over 200 miles between fuel. I think we're fine.
We've got 8 extra gallons.
Yeah. But it's going to be cool. We're going to see the Pony Express route.
Oh my gosh, I can't wait. That's that straight stretch from there,
Yep.
right? The Pony
Yep.
Express.
Yeah.
I'm so excited about that. Well, let's just get on the road. It's early still. What time is it?
It's 7:45.
So let's get on the road and get that slow stuff done this morning, see how much time we can make up this afternoon.
Yep.
I'd love to push through, but also I don't want to freeze again.
Agreed.
Okay.
That was a tough day yesterday, Kate, but I'm feeling good about today.
Yeah, me too. With a really tough day, but we got through it, so we can take it.
These are the Ruby Mountains, right?
Yep, the Ruby Mountains.
Wow.
The Ruby Mountains are some of Nevada's finest, with peaks over 11,000 feet and granite cliffs carved by glaciers. It's Nevada's version of the Swiss Alps. We wouldn't get to cross them on this trip, but these mountains on this bright and sunny morning seemed like good omens for what lie ahead on the trail. And after the day before, we were in the mood for a little less drama.
What a great way to start the morning, though.
Well, that was a great way to start the morning, looking at the Ruby Mountains with the sun kind of making them look misty. That was so nice. We're on pavement for just a second here. We're gonna hop on pavement for a few miles and hop back off. You know, these BDRs, it is about the journey. It's about experiencing these back roads, but it's also about finishing it. You know, moving along is good. Not getting stuck is good. So let's hope for more of that.
Hey, Will, I'm in a rut here, and I'm just nervous. I just don't want to mess up. Can I get a spot?
So I don't really want my back tire because I'm afraid I'll high center.
Probably what you need to do is straighten out your tire, back up, and then have a little bit more gradual turn up onto this thing, because you've pinned yourself with your tire in that rut. These ruts weren't anything very technical or scary, but we were practicing caution. So I got in some early practice spotting Kate around the ruts, a favor she would repay in spades later in the trip.
Yeah, now just ride it out.
Thank you.
Oh, the Mojave's getting a workout right now. We're flexing it out.
We were now working our way in between water sources. And since we were headed across the slope of the hills, the water, or evidence of water, often crossed the trail, making it just a little more interesting.
Wow, the water drainage on these roads is causing some big old ruts. Seems like everything is just a little harder in that truck with smaller tires on it.
I never thought I would say this, but I think we need bigger tires.
You heard it, folks. Kate wants bigger tires, and it wasn't the last time on this trip she'd say that.
I feel like we're in the Wild West right now. There is so much open country out here. I feel like I've seen every different type of sagebrush already. Where are we headed again tonight, Kate?
I was hoping we'd get past Austin around Kingston Summit.
That is a long way from here.
We are I don't know, maybe 50 or 60 miles into today. Maybe not even that much. Maybe it's 40 or 50, I'm not sure. So we still have a long way to go. And this part of BDR is a little slow going. It's actually kind of fun to drive. It's really pleasant. It's just you can't go too fast because there's washouts and the road's not even, and it's, you know, you're kind of going up and down over different terrains and things like that. So, and we'll just keep pushing, see how far we can get today. So far, so good. With a quick roundup of the local herd, we started heading from one valley to another. We were starting to get close to the old Pony Express trail, and we were definitely feeling the Wild West vibes.
You've got smoke coming out of your rig. I don't think it's dust, and it looks worse than before.
So this is some of the weeds that were trapped underwear, and you can see this was all burning. It's all burnt. And it's still kind of smoking. It's like smoldering. Same, there's stuff over here. This is all burnt too. So I'm just trying to throw water up there and scrape out as much as I can. You know, it's like whack-a-mole. Last night we had fires popping up in the muffler. Tonight we got fires popping up under the transmission, and so, you know, it's not something I want to worry about. I don't want to worry about driving down a dirt road and having my Jeep catch on fire. I think we're going to keep a really close eye on Finnegan. And like, I'm going to leave the windows down so I can smell if there's smoke. And Kate's going to drive behind to see if there's any smoke coming out. It's kind of hard sometimes to differentiate this, tell between smoke and dust, which is why we'll have the window down too, but we'll just be ready. I kind of know where the hot spots are now. So I feel like I can stop really quickly and get in there, pour some water in there, scrape out the stuff that might be flammable, and keep going. And then long term, I don't know. You know, I don't know what I'm going to do with if I'm going to keep those skid plates on, if I need to take them off, just so I don't start my Jeep on fire.
These Nevada basins are so massive.
Yep.
Well, at least these roads are in good shape, making good time.
Yeah, definitely.
We made it to the Pony Express, Kate. Can you imagine riding a horse on this?
That's me riding my horse.
Well, we're making good time now. We are on the Pony Express. We're on the section of this BDR that follows the old Pony Express as it kind of crosses through Nevada, which is so cool. I definitely want to come back and do the entire Pony Express. Some of my friends have done that, and it looks awesome. It looks a little grueling, kind of like this, but looks like a ton of fun. So this road is great. We're making a great time. We still have quite a ways to go, but at this pace, it won't take us too long to get there. The smoke is better. I spot checked it a couple times. I don't smell anything. I don't see any smoke. I try to clean out all those weeds the best I could, which gives me some confidence to drive a little faster. Things get a little hotter, and I'm hoping now that smooth sailing until we get to camp. As the afternoon stretched on, we found ourselves in awe of our surroundings.
Kate, I knew Nevada had sagebrush, but I had no idea how many mountains are out here.
Yeah, honestly, and I spent so much time looking at the map, but I'm sort of blown away by it as well.
We do not have this kind of terrain in Idaho anywhere that I can think of. My favorite of the day.
So I've been looking at the map, and I just don't think there's any way we're going to make it as far as I had hoped today.
Okay, well, let's just get as close to Austin as we can before we set up camp.
Yeah, sounds good, and I'm getting tired. I'm about ready to be done for the day.
So we changed our plans, again, and set our sights on finding a campsite where we could enjoy some mountain views. And boy, did we find one. We found ourselves on a 6,000-foot mountain just outside of Austin, overlooking a valley below. In places like these, places that are foreign to you, everything feels different. The simple tasks of setting up camp feel more significant somehow when the sun is set and the sky is changing colors all around you. This was our home for the night. It was our first real camping spot of the trip so far, and the Nevada sky seemed to be changing colors every few minutes as we took in our surroundings. There was the basins and passes we'd crossed so far on one side, Kingston Peak with snow still on it waiting for us on the other side, and behind us, well, who knows what was out there, but it seemed endless. We were tired, but fully invested in this adventure so far. And it's incredible how a few simple things like a fire and a chair make you feel right at home, no matter where you are in this world. You're helping making dinner?
Yep.
What are we having?
We are having pita tacos.
Ooh, pita tacos. That looks so good, dude.
Okay, thank you so much. It's so delicious.
You're so welcome. And Emerson.
And thank you to Emerson. Now, what do you think of the dinner?
Very yummy.
With our family dinner around the fire complete, we turned in for the night and fell asleep to the sounds of the neighborhood coyotes under a bright moon.
There's a new day that will come again tomorrow. There's a new day to wash away the pain. There's a new day to take away your sorrow and the old ways get washed out by the rain.
This morning, we're probably 6 miles outside of Austin, Nevada. We're just gonna pack up and go down there since we're gonna resupply in Austin anyway. We're gonna get water. We'll, gas up the rigs, do all that stuff. We're just gonna get breakfast down there too, so we'll get muffins for the kids or something like that.
Yes.
So we're just going to try to get going as fast as we can this morning. It's probably, I don't know, maybe it's 7 o'clock right now. Sun just popped. It's just been so nice to get up, have a cup of coffee, watch the sunrise. And now we're gonna go. Today's gonna be another big day.
We got a long day.
Is it another 200-mile day?
It's another 200-mile day.
200 miles that will go faster than the 200 miles we
That's
had
my
yesterday.
hope. That's my hope. I think there'll be some fun stuff to do along the way too, especially for the kids. Get them out. Like Belmont, I think is a ghost town that will be cool, and get out and walk around and enjoy it a little bit. And then if we have time, Tonopah Brewing Company might be calling my name at the end of the day.
I like that. A nice little treat at the end of the day.
At the end of the day. Yeah.
I like it.
All right.
Okay. So we were off on day 3 to see what else Nevada was hiding from us and what surprises might pop up along the way.
So, Kate, how far outside of Austin are we?
I think we're really close.
Okay, good, because I need gas in a bad way.
Austin is what's left of a silver boom town that started in 1862 when the North was looking for precious metals to help pay for the Civil War. Once Nevada's biggest town, it now has about 200 folks who call it home. Today, it's a quirky stop on the highway or a launching pad to explore some of the surrounding areas.
I think that place, Stokes Castle, is nearby, right?
Yes, I think we should go check it out for sure.
Stokes Castle was built by a business tycoon named Anton Stokes back in 1897. It was supposed to be a summer home, and they spent exactly 1 summer in it before deciding never to come back. Each of the 3 stories has a fireplace, and you can see the remnants of balconies on each of the upper floors as well. It's now owned by the Austin Historical Society, and vandalism has caused a gate to go up, but it was still interesting to see from behind the fence. So now this abandoned home sits on a hillside with a 60-mile view of the Reese River Valley below. Somehow, Stokes Castle, which sticks out like a sore thumb, fits right into this part of Nevada. From Stokes Castle, we headed down the side of the valley to make our way towards Kingston's summit.
Holy cow, this is an incredible basin.
I know, it's just like basin after basin. Beautiful mountain range after range. Pretty great.
Are we headed over those mountains?
I believe we are, sir.
I can't wait to see what's over there.
We were speeding across the Reese River Valley, parallel to the old Pony Express Trail, but we were headed toward the Toyabe Mountain Range, which holds the highest pass of the entire BDR. But even though Nevada is the most mountainous state in the lower 48, it's the basins between the ranges that make it really special. So we've hit our first big basin of the day, and I think there's going to be more like this, but it is just spectacular. Just wide open valley floor, really nice roads. You can kind of, tear through them in terms of speed and, put in a bunch of miles, but it's just so scenic to be on the floor of this basin with all these mountains. And then there's mountains behind the mountains too. So where we're headed is to, I think it's called, I want to say Kingston Pass or Kingston Peak. And right now I think we're at like maybe 5,000 feet or 6,000 feet. We're gonna climb up past 8,000 feet on this pass. So it looks like there might even be some snow up there, which is crazy. So let's go see what that mountain pass is all about.
And we're climbing over that?
That's the plan.
Giddy up.
When we hit the Toyabes, the entire environment changed within a few miles.
We are not in the plains anymore.
Yeah, this feels different. I love it. I do not feel like we're in Nevada right now.
So much water out here.
When we hit the Toyabes, the entire environment changed within a few miles. The roads leading up to Kingston Summit were littered with water crossings. The grass was lush green, there were trees everywhere, and the air was crisp and cool. It was remarkably different from the high desert plains we'd been traversing. It was like someone turned on the water faucet, and I can only imagine what a welcome sight this must have been to the weary Native Americans and early trappers that crossed these lands, when the mountains and creeks had different names than they do now. For our part, we were just having fun playing in the puddles. So we're climbing up towards Kingston Summit right now, and it's beautiful. It's so different, so green. There's so many water crossings, not big ones, just little creeks, but it's so different than the desert that we've been in. It's really fun. Like, I don't know, maybe there's been like 8 creeks that we've crossed on the way up. So I think we're just about ready to start the climb, like the real climb, which gets up to about 8,600 feet or something like that. The peaks here are 10,000 plus peaks, which is spectacular. There's still snow up there. I can see it clearly now. And so I'm curious as to how this climb's gonna go.
Okay, time to climb.
I think that's the first truck we've seen on the road, Kate.
Yeah, 100%, in a long time.
When we reached the top of the saddle, it felt like a scene from Montana or Wyoming, not Nevada. So we took a sec to just take in the views.
So we've been driving in this like very different part of Nevada. It doesn't feel like Nevada, maybe like Oregon, or it's just so green and the peaks are so high. We're traveling kind of in the canyon of these peaks, and we're at 7,800 feet, and the peaks are even higher. They're like at least another 1,000 feet high, I think. So it's just really cool to see. There's still runoff from all the snow. We've had 8 water crossings, and it's just a really fun break from the monotony of the desert. I'm loving it.
What goes up must come down. I'm seeing more washouts on the way down.
Yeah, I think this one's super bad. They had to actually mark it. Be careful going by.
Oh yeah, it looks deep.
It's the kind of washes that'll ruin your day. Maybe your year.
Yeah, definitely.
This washout on the way down from Kingston Summit was a reminder that Nevada had a very wet winter, spring, and summer, and the roads we were driving were definitely affected by it, something we'd learn in a much more visceral way later in the trip. So we're in the middle of this, it's called the Spalding salt marsh. It's really cool. I could totally see myself camping out here in one of these flats, and you're just surrounded by these massive mountains. I mean, there's like 10,000 foot mountains all around you. So this is another just really impressive Nevada basin. And we're making good time. This road's in good shape, so we could drive reasonably fast on it to try to put some miles in. But man, really enjoying this part of the drive.
Wow, this is so different again today.
I feel like I'm in the middle of either like a spaghetti western or like Tatooine. It's like if those two got married and had a baby.
We were now headed through Northumberland Canyon, which was taking us over the Takima mountain range and would summit near Mount Gooding at about 8,500 feet. The landscape had changed again to dry and arid, with monolith rocks sticking out like fins all around us. This passageway was originally explored by John C. Fremont back in the 1840s, but roads didn't matter until gold was discovered in 1866. As we climbed up the pass, we could look back and see Kingston Summit, where we'd been just a few hours earlier.
Looks like there's a big mine back there. I think it's still in operation.
Approaching the Northumberland mine, we could see the 11,900 foot peak of Mount Jefferson winking at us in the distance. This was our second mountain range in a day, each vastly different, and we couldn't wait to see what was on the other side of the Takimas. Well, we're out in the middle of some random basin in Nevada, and I'll tell you this, Nevada's huge. This is like our third or fourth massive basin with mountains all around us. And it doesn't get old necessarily, but you do get the sense that this is a very big state and it takes a very long time to drive through it. So we're stopping to refill water because I think everybody is parched. This Nevada sun in the desert just dries you out so fast. So we're just going to get some water, get back on our rigs, and see how much more time we can make up today, because we're making good time, but we still have a long way to go to Tonopah. We were now crossing the Ralston Valley, with the Takima Range on one side and the McKinneys on the other. We had another 20 miles of wide, flat road that seemed to be heading nowhere.
I know I've said it already, but I've never seen anything like this before. One thing that is shocking to me, Kate, is just how deserted these roads are. I think we've seen 2 people in 3 days.
Yeah.
This was our third Great Basin of the day, and it felt like we'd been swallowed up by Nevada, and we're passing through places no one has heard of or cares to hear about. But that's exactly why we wanted to come here. These vast, seemingly endless stretches of land leading us deeper into a wild and untamed area made us feel alive in ways exploring your local state just can't do. It was foreign to us, it was daunting, it was scary, and we were grateful for all of it.
Do you think we're gonna make it to Tonopah, Kate?
Yeah, we're making it to Tonopah. I got a beer waiting for me there.
All right, let's pick up the pace. I hear beer calling.
Bear me.
However, just when we thought we were off to the races, Nevada decided to slow us down again.
All right, looks like we got a little tricky section coming up here.
So we started working our way through a section of whoops and washouts that tightly wound its way through what's probably a marsh in the spring.
Like, how tricky is tricky?
Well, in the truck, I should probably get out and spot you.
While these washouts and dry creek crossings weren't especially technical, the truck couldn't quite make some of the approach and departure angle, so we threw out our traction boards to keep it from scraping too much.
Oh, wasn't too bad.
Yep, better safe than sorry.
Now the race to Tonopah was back on, and when I say race, I mean it.
Wow, Will, I am just flying on these roads. This truck flies.
Honestly, I'm having a hard time keeping up with you in the 392.
Catch me if you can.
So I put my foot down on the Hemi V8 and let all of those 470 horses start galloping to catch Kate.
Where'd you go?
See if you can catch me.
Last one at Tonopah's rotten egg.
Good luck to you. Almost have a beer in my hand.
You know what they say, ladies first. Well, we made it to Tonopah, so
we're going to treat ourselves to some food and some brews at the Tonopah Brewery. So we're going to go in and check this place out.
Tonopah Brewing has a local, casual vibe in an otherwise tough town. It pays homage to old Tonopah, which they claim, maybe rightly so, was founded on blood, sweat, and beers. And the beers were just what we needed, along with some incredible smoked pulled pork and barbecue ribs plates with all the fixins. The kids were happy, and Kate and I were glad to take a break.
What do you think of Tonopah Brewery?
Wonderful. They make the food and they do the dishes.
No dishes, no food tonight. Just camp, sleep. Sounds good.
However, we still needed a place to camp. There's a ton of BLM land right outside of Tonopah, but it was hard not getting distracted by the incredible sunset, and by the time we hit dirt again, we were looking for a spot in the dark, which can be tricky when you're unfamiliar with your surroundings.
So, epic day 3. Kate and I are going to have an old-fashioned. We stopped in the grocery store in Tonopah and got some pre-made old-fashioned. So we're going to have a cocktail on the tailgate of the Gladiator before we go to bed. And the kids are going to bed right now. So what a crazy, super epic and awesome day. Can't wait to do it again tomorrow. Hopefully just a little bit shorter, more time for fun. So see you in the morning.
The next morning, we got a first look at where we had camped. We found ourselves in the middle of an open plain surrounded by mountains. We had literally just pulled off the side of the route to find a flat spot. My son and I were up before the sun came up and decided to go explore a little bit before the girls got up. When he's my age, he may not ever remember walking with me in the middle of Nevada, but at my age, these moments are the ones I'll never forget. We found an old abandoned tank with colorful graffiti that somehow didn't seem odd way out here in the desert. I don't know how many walks like this I'll get with my son, but I can't think of a better way to spend a morning in Nevada. After the sun and the girls were up, Kate and I grabbed some coffee and started thinking about the day ahead.
Good morning.
Morning.
Cheers from the middle of nowhere in Nevada.
Yes.
And today, we've been on the trail for 3 days. We're all a dusty mess, so today is shower day. We're gonna run the kids through, we're gonna go through, and we're gonna start today fresh. Yeah. Probably start a little bit later than we have been because we're taking showers, but it's so worth it. But it's been a heck of a journey so far. I cannot wait to see what's next because, man, when I look on the horizon, I see all these layers of mountains. Nevada has these layers of mountains, layers upon layers upon layers upon layers, which is why the sunsets and sunrises are so incredible. So I can't wait to go see some of those layers today.
I have to say, I did not expect to continue to see the mountains at this point in the trip. I thought it would just be desert, flat, dirt. And I mean, it is flat and dirt and desert, but we've got these beautiful ranges that we continue to find basins to just admire in the distance. And we go over them. I mean, I guess we're going to go over a couple more ranges today, I think. So it is definitely a surprise, and just loving it.
Yeah. Well, cheers. Here's to another day on the trail.
Here we go.
Let's do it.
I feel like this is a long road to nowhere.
At least it's pretty getting there.
Wait, what is that?
That's a Joshua tree.
I've never seen one before.
You know, me either. I think, first time I've ever seen one.
They're like a strange mix between a cactus, a palm tree, and a bush. Pretty cool, though.
Makes me feel like we're getting close to California.
I wonder if we're going to see more of these.
Yeah, likely, but I don't know. Can we stop and consult the map together? There's some route changes I just want us to look at together.
You got it.
Okay, so what's on our GPS tracks shows a green track and then also a blue track.
Yeah.
But when I look at the original hard copy map, the green track isn't there, only the blue track. And I mean, I haven't searched the end of the BDR website, but I think we should stick to the green route, which again it's not on this hard copy map, but my hunch is that maybe the blue route there's a problem with it, which is why the GPS tracks now has a new track.
Yeah.
So my hunch is just we should stick to that. But I don't know any of this for a fact.
Well,
it's just my hunch.
Let's try that, and then if we have to reroute, we can reroute. But
the green looks easier. It looks like we just stick on this road.
Yeah.
As opposed to veering off, which would be to the left here.
Yeah. Oh, I see.
And so my instinct just tells me, like, I think you used to go over some of these mountains, and I mean, which would be cool to see even more of the Joshua trees. But just my instinct is telling me maybe something's wrong with it.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'm with you.
Because they have lots of alternate routes on the hard copy map.
Yeah.
This is not shown as an alternate route on this map.
Right. I think we should stick to the green.
Great.
Stick to the easy run. Okay.
As we passed through the Goldfield Hills, we emerged into one of my favorite sections of the trip. This unnamed basin sits just to the east of the Montezuma Range, with Mount Jackson dominating the horizon. My wish for more Joshua trees came true as we drove through this Wild West landscape that felt unreal to us Idahoans.
I think you'd call this a Joshua Tree forest.
Yeah, this is so cool.
This feels like something out of a comic book right now.
I don't know what Joshua Tree National Park is like exactly, but this is pretty impressive.
I'm expecting Clint Eastwood or John Wayne to show up at any moment.
Talking to me, Bunk. Waha, little pilgrim.
As the route took us toward Railroad Pass and the Palmetto Mountain Range, we hit something I've never seen before.
Hey, this isn't a road at all.
Yeah, it's like a river bed or something.
We're literally just driving through water drainage.
It's like we just pick our own path, but there's no path.
This is awesome. It's like off-road improv.
The road is called Railroad Springs Road, and it had totally been destroyed by water runoff. We didn't know it at the time, but it was the beginning of some seriously damaged trails that would be very challenging later.
Woo! We are in a different kind of a desert now. Wow, this has been a really cool day. Maybe my favorite day so far. We are somewhere between here and there. We're at the beginning of a mountain pass, and I'm not exactly sure where it leads to, but we just stopped for lunch because kids are hungry, adults are hungry, that we just do a quick little recharge and keep going. But what a day so far. Super fun, really fun driving. The rigs are doing fantastic. Kate's doing fantastic as a driver and a navigator. She's navigating this whole trip. So anyway, just get some grub, move on.
So this mountain pass looks like it's littered with juniper trees.
I love juniper trees.
This trail looks like it's been damaged by water runoff. Also, logging. There's a bunch of downed trees everywhere.
In some ways, this is a really fun section.
So we are just driving through this juniper forest, which is so different, you know, like we were in this desert floor and now we're in these foothills with these juniper trees and sagebrush, and this part of the trail is pretty slow going. A little frustrating because it's like washout after washout after washout after washout. And then there's like tree branches and stuff, but it's still beautiful and fun to see how much Nevada changes. Like this is very different than we were this morning. So.
Nowadays, freedom feels like letting go. Surrender to the flow. It's like, whoa, let's do it differently. Living life vividly. Doing what's right for me. Yeah.
I think if you do 4 basins in one day, Nevada sends you a toaster.
I prefer a blender.
This one is a little more hilly than the others, though.
As we descended down into the valley next to the Cucamonga Mountains that border California, Kate and I finally gave ourselves over to Nevada and just let it take us away.
I swear that's the same butte we were looking at a few hours ago.
What are you saying, Will? All buttes are the same?
If you've seen one butte, you've seen them all.
If you've seen one butte, you've seen a butte.
So where are we?
We are stopping for a little energy refuel. We are on top of a mountain or a hill between somewhere in Nevada and somewhere else in Nevada. I actually couldn't tell you where. I know that we're in the desert, but we're up high enough that there's a little more sagebrush up here. we're about to head back down, and this has been a heck of a day. Really fun. Nothing like crazy, just a lot of fun. So, yeah.
And we are accepting sponsorships from Monster
Energy
at any
Drink.
time.
We should buy stock in this company. Okay. Well, we are now climbing up over the mountains behind Gold Point, Nevada. We went through Gold Point. We planned on getting out and kind of seeing it. It's kind of billed as like a ghost town, but we drove through and it just looked a little kitschy. And it didn't look like a real ghost town. Of course, we're from Idaho, so like the ghost towns in Idaho are like real ghost towns. Like there's no one there, with the exception of maybe Silver City in Idaho. And so we come into these communities that say that they're like ghost town. I think there's a little tourism that's happening there, which is totally fine, but I didn't really feel like it was worth the stop. So we're climbing over these mountains. It's a little sandy, beautiful views all around us, just like the rest of Nevada. It's like these layers of mountains everywhere. I just love it. And we're now starting to think about camp. So it's like 3:30 in the afternoon. We don't want to pull another long night. And so we're just gonna drive until we get tired and then just try to find a nice place to camp. So if we see anything in here, we might just pull up, because this is pretty. And we're far enough south now in Nevada that I don't think we're gonna get cold temperatures at night, no matter how high we are. Still just probably the best day so far driving, sightseeing, making good time. It's been a total blast.
We had now dropped down into Sarcophagus Flat on an empty, dry lake bed full of dust devils as we wedged ourselves between the Paiute Mesa to the east and the Grapevine Mountains to the west. This 30-mile straight road outlining the Nevada side of Death Valley was yet another victim to a wet year in Nevada, with hundreds of places where water had come across the roads. We accepted the washouts, though, because we were alone in this valley. And for two Idaho kids who'd never seen Joshua trees before, it felt really special to be there, all by ourselves.
And we're about to enter into Death Valley National Park, which is really cool. I think maybe we'll try to find a camp spot there tonight, but we're on this road that is just brutal.
That's a nice spot right here if we wanted to stop.
Okay. You want to keep pushing to Death Valley, or do you want to give that a try?
No. This looks like this is the best spot I've seen. Let's get out and see how it feels.
Okay, I'm gonna go turn around. I think maybe Kate has found the spot. I'm gonna turn around and go take a look at it. Maybe that's it, we'll see.
Kate found a flat clearing about 10 feet off the trail, so we set up camp. The temperature was about 75 degrees, and the ground was a soft rock bed. And as the evening sun began to set, our surroundings felt almost magical.
Down by the waters where I once dreamed, beneath the silver moon there you'll find me. My heart a pilgrim, my mind a slave, for my eyes can't stand to see the light of day. 'Cause life is lost without love, wouldn't you say?
Okay, so what a day. we had another big day. We thought it was going to be an easy day, but it was another big day. A great day, though. And we wound up camping in the Joshua Tree Forest, which is just phenomenal. Maybe one of the best campsites we've ever had.
Ever. I mean, absolutely beautiful vistas, 360. Like 360
all the way around.
degrees, all the way around.
Flat, clean. It's like a rocky kind of soil, so it's like really clean camp, no dust.
And we're out here all by ourselves. We haven't seen a soul.
In almost the whole trip.
Yeah, we were saying it's like less than 10 people on the route, maybe the whole trip.
Yeah. And we're 600 miles in or something like that.
Oh, yeah, easily. Yeah.
So
today was 100 miles or so, and that seemed really short. So we were like, oh, it'll be an easier day. We'll get into camp early. But I think what we didn't realize is those were going to be really hard miles.
They were harder miles today, for sure.
Way
we had
harder.
Washouts. Yeah. We had climbing over those juniper forests that had been logged. We went really slow. I mean, just things slowed us down, but it was a lot of variety today.
Yeah, it was. But gosh, the word of the trip is washout. Like.
Oh yeah, erosion.
Erosion.
Totally. And so tomorrow we're gonna try to make up some time because we didn't get where we wanted to get today. So we're gonna try to make up some of the trail tomorrow.
Just a little bit.
Yeah.
Because we've got to end on a certain timeline. Yeah.
We've got to finish this road first, which is like the king of washouts, like the washout.
I'm glad we did I think 50% today. So I'm glad to break it up because I think when we do it in the morning we'll feel fresh and ready to go, but it is not a fun road. You can't get above 12 miles an hour before you hit another washout.
That's right, yeah.
And you have to brake. I've been getting my analog brakes going.
Oh yeah, they're so big. The washouts are so big. You have to crawl them.
And you crawl them.
Yeah. Anyway, but lots more to see tomorrow. I think tomorrow maybe is when we're gonna do the what's it called? The Minecraft thing?
I don't know what
there's
it's called.
There's like a naked Minecraft.
It's like an open air museum. But the naked Minecraft, the kids are
kids
so excited about it.
With full parts and everything. So
I know. Well, I don't have full parts.
Okay, well, Minecraft parts.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, so we're just gonna enjoy what's left of this sunset tonight, get some sleep, and hit it again tomorrow. Good night.
Okay, we got a big day today, yet again. We are gonna start back on this long rutted road, and we're gonna make our way to Rhyolite and hopefully the open air museum. Check that out, I think it'll be a lot of fun. And then we're gonna head into Beatty, gas up, and then make our way all the way to Pahrump? I don't know how to say it. That'll be fun, let's go.
At this point, the family was in sync when packing up camp. Everyone knew exactly what to do, so we were ready to go in no time at all. However, as soon as we hit the trail again, we were reminded what a long, slow slog this section was.
This road sucks.
I didn't think it was possible, but I think this second half of the stretch is worse than what we did yesterday.
We can't go faster than 7-10 miles an hour in any one stretch because I keep slamming on the brakes. We're about to come into Death Valley, so I'm going to turn the cameras off. And we're clear of Death Valley. Well, this road's better.
Roger that.
It was hard to imagine that we started this trip with snow falling as we passed through this scorched landscape heading towards the ghost town of Rhyolite.
It feels a lot hotter now. What's your thermometer say, Kate?
It says look at your own thermometer degrees.
82 degrees at 10 a.m.
We were passing through Box Canyon, which is a playground for F-18 fighter jets, and even though we didn't film it, we did see them racing across the desert about 50 feet from the ground.
I'm glad we're headed to Rhyolite, though. I think the kids will think that's fun.
Yeah, me too. I think it's going to be cool.
Just outside the ghost town of Rhyolite and about 4 miles from Beatty, California, you'll find the Goldwell Open Air Museum full of art installations. Founded in 1984 by Belgian artist Albert Zukalski, this open-air museum is full of pieces that defy the Mojave sun, the most famous of which is a ghostly representation of the Last Supper. Made by coating human models in plaster, then coating it in fiberglass, this installation certainly plays with your imagination. There are many other interesting pieces, but the one that caught our attention was the Minecraft-looking Venus of Nevada, which caused us to have some very interesting conversations with our kids afterward. Just a short drive away, we found the remnants of Rhyolite, an old mining town with a familiar boom and bust story. However, the half-standing buildings had an ancient Rome feeling to them somehow, mixed with bits and pieces of the Wild West, of course. Before long, we were back on dirt, headed toward the supply stop of Beatty, Nevada. We are definitely in a different kind of desert now. It feels hot. It's 77 degrees at 10:30 in the morning. The earth looks a little more scorched. The mountains look scorched. It's really cool to see how much changes from where we started in Jarbidge, Nevada, where it was like lush green forested hills, and then the landscape now is changing into this real deal desert. So we're on our way to Beatty, where we will stop for gas and maybe just do a quick pit stop. And in the meantime, we're just navigating all of these washouts the best that we can as we continue this route. But these washouts, I think, are especially bad this year because it was such a wet spring. So here's to getting gas in Beatty. Beatty was a great place to stop for gas and grab a quick bite before getting back on the trail. There's just a little washout that used to be the road, and now it's a gaping hole. The trail started to get sketchy. As we approached Razorback Ridge, we started seeing signs of severe washouts. We reached the point where we had to crawl down a destroyed part of the trail, which for the first time carried much bigger consequences if we made mistakes. The 392 did just fine on it. I got real nervous for a second. Kate put the camera down and we stopped, we calmed down, we talked through it, got it down just fine. I don't think the truck is gonna make it down nearly as well. So I'm gonna rethink this, maybe restack some rock, put the traction boards out, and make sure that that thing isn't quite as off camber as I was. I was only 15% off side to side, but I was 10% down, and it felt like my back tires were about to come up and just felt really, really bad. So we're gonna do a little work and reapproach this with the truck.
No, you're just right.
The camera never does justice to the severity of the obstacle, but what you can see here is that we had stacked many rocks to lessen the drop of the front passenger tire. While the stock Mojave suspension is great on open roads, it doesn't give much flex for navigating obstacles like this, making it feel quite tippy. We took our time here, went slow, and tried to over-communicate with each other, so both Kate and I stayed together on the position of the tires. Talk to me, Goose. Okay. You got it.
Come on, keep them as they are. Good, good. You're gonna go up on 2 rocks. Come, driver. Okay, come. Okay, back.
Unfortunately, there was a bush that was in the line of fire. And while I don't think we killed it, in general, we try to avoid damaging the plants and trees on the trail.
Yep, just take that bush out. Yep, keep going. Good.
Am I good? Feeling good about this, Katie. Hey, we made it. That was a little stressful, but you know what? Kate was an awesome spotter. We problem solved. We had this stock rig, had a little some hang-ups on the rocks, but we just put more rocks down. There's an abundance of rocks around here. We didn't get bit by any snakes in the process, so that's a win. And now we're going to continue on. I'm sure there'll be nothing else from here on out.
I would like a cocktail.
Kate, we got another big washout, and this might be a big problem.
Oh, good.
I'm not sure how we're gonna get across this one.
You can't fill that.
I'm not trying to fill it. I'm just trying to opposite side of the hill, so it's not so off camber.
I see.
Just when we thought our troubles were over, we came upon an even harder problem to solve. What we faced was a 4 to 6 foot washout that cut deep into the trail with a steep hill on the other side.
Pardon me? You coming? Coming? Hold.
No, that's not good, that's not good.
That's good.
So these worked okay, kind of, right? We got a little high on the hill with Finnegan. So I'm trying to dig it out a little bit. It's not quite so scary with Trip. I think our traction board setup's gonna work again. We'll see.
Our strategy was to build a bridge of sorts with the max tracks and try to cradle the tire as it dipped into this massive hole. But Trip had smaller, narrower tires and less flex, which meant it was more tippy and very uncomfortable to drive.
What's that mean, babe?
The smaller tires sunk down farther into the hole. Kate's strategy was for me to gun it, to effectively skip the back tire across the hole. Took her a sec to convince me it was a good idea, but as I've said a million times, you have to trust your spotter.
Whoa!
I thought I was going to go down the hill. And there was a moment when the back tire dropped in. Kate kept telling me to gun it, and I didn't want to. It didn't feel right. It just goes to show you got to trust your spotter.
Well, I feel exhausted and like I am ready for a nap.
This is another one of those non-road roads, Kate. It's like just water drainage that we're driving down. I don't see a road anywhere. I think we're just supposed to carve our way through this.
At this point, our nerves were frayed and we were expecting the trail to fall apart at any minute. But we stayed together, stayed tight, and found our way over what's called Secret Pass.
Okay, so I just have to be honest and say I am very tired of navigating washouts. We just stopped for lunch in Beatty, and so I should be feeling like super restored and kind of ready to go again. And we just hit another wild section of washouts, and it's just like, it's exhausting, and we have got to get at least 80 more miles today. And I mean, we're moving at like 2 miles an hour, and I'm just tired.
Kate, we are finally rolling again.
Thank the good Lord. I was literally about to die, Will.
Well, we are flying now through a sandy desert. Much more sand out here now, and the mountains are clearly scorched, like just this type of mountain you see in desert climates. Really cool, like more severe angles and things on the mountains. You can see all the jagged edges because there's no trees on them. The road that we're on now is just like chef's kiss in terms of like speed and flat and gradual turns, so we're going as fast as we need to right now, and it feels so good because the first half of the day was so slow and so sketchy and so just like undriven and undiscovered. It really felt like anything could happen around every corner, so we were just on edge for most of the day. It's like 4 o'clock now in the afternoon. We're starting to think about camp, and this is the dance that we've been doing every day. It's like we're thinking about getting a little bit higher elevation. Because it's 90 degrees out there right now. That'd be a pretty warm night. So I just don't know if we're gonna get all the way to Pahrump and get up in elevation to cool off. So it might be a warm night tonight, we'll see.
So we've made the decision to push on to our next town. I don't know how to say it, Pahrump. I always feel like a curmudgeon old man when I say that, Pahrump. Anyway, we've made the decision to continue on to the next stage end of the trip, and I think that's a good decision. We're not that far out. Thank goodness the roads have improved significantly. We have gone just as far in the last hour as what took us the first 7 hours of the day. Absolutely incredible how slow we were going. I think it's good. It's going to make our last day, which is tomorrow, doable. Here we go.
Kate, we're in striking distance of Pahrump right now.
Heck yeah, let's do this.
It was positive vibes only in the convoy now. The roads had turned sandy white and the mountains brown and orange as we skirted through the Nevada-California border. It was incredible to see the variations in the mountains. Red, yellow, blue, and green were colors I was not expecting to see this deep in the desert.
I'm kind of thinking we should do dinner in Pahrump.
You know what, you're speaking my language. There is no part of me that wants to cook dinner right now.
The thought of someone else doing the dishes was just enough motivation to keep us burning fuel as the sagebrush flew by our windows.
Maybe I can get a margarita.
Woohoo, there's my cocktail.
Okay, so we stopped in Pahrump. We had Mexican food for dinner, which was delicious at Romero's. So good. And we don't have to make dinner. We don't have to do dishes tonight because it's been a long day on the trail. So now we're just driving up, trying to find a place to camp just outside of town. There's these beautiful mountains, and we think we're gonna hopefully go find a place a little bit higher elevation, just a little bit out of town. Maybe we can have a camp spot and look at the city lights tonight. That would be kind of interesting. So let's go see what we find.
Let's just drive up here a little ways and see what we can find, Kate. I think Las Vegas is just on the other side of those mountains.
Ooh, it's calling my name.
You want to go to Vegas?
Go to Vegas, baby.
We got to finish this BDR first.
Set the night on fire. Burn it up bright like a shooting star.
Whoa, but look at that sunset.
We could set the night on fire.
And those city lights.
We're gonna tell this world, tell them who we are.
I think this spot will do just fine.
Fantastic.
So we set up camp and sat down to the most unique view we've ever had camping.
You know, it's kind of weird to be looking down at the city lights. We're used to being out in the middle of nowhere, but it's actually kind of cool to see those lights and to know that that's where kind of the on-grid world is, and here we are just above it looking down. What a great trip so far. So epic, so frustrating. There's type 1 fun and type 2 fun. So type 1 fun is it's fun, you're enjoying it when it happens, and you remember it as fun. Type 2 fun is it's not necessarily enjoyable, it might be challenging. It's not fun when it's happening, but then when you think back on it, you're super grateful for it and you think of it as fun. So we've had a lot of type 1 fun and a lot of type 2 fun. So let's hope tomorrow is full of more beautiful views, maybe some more type 1 fun. Would I like some type 1 fun? That'd be great. And I'll take type 2, but let's hope for type 1. And then we'll finish out this BDR. What a crazy trip. See you in the morning.
Morning came quickly to Pahrump, and as we tried to remember where in Nevada we were this morning, the sun decided to put on a show for us, creeping up the 11,900-foot Charleston Peak and lighting up the valley below. We were up taking it all in, thinking about the route ahead, and wondering what other surprises Nevada had in store as we looked at the map.
So here's where we are at Pahrump.
think we're up here somewhere, right? So we're gonna come down Starbucks, we're gonna get some Starbucks. What a treat on the BDR. And then we're gonna immediately go off road into Sandy Valley and then Good Springs. We'll come into Prim, we'll gas up for good measure. And then I think this is a good enough road and it's not very long that we could maybe stay aired up. We get back on a highway 164 for 20 miles. So to me, we stay aired up for this whole section. And then at Searchlight, we gas up one more time, probably, air down. And then we go into Laughlin, and then we end the darn thing.
Think we can do it today?
I think we can.
And then we drive up the highway.
I think we should try.
I think we can do it. I've been so optimistic every day.
Same.
But I think we can do it.
Runs in the family.
Yeah, let's do it.
When you look back at a trip, sometimes you think, were we being optimistic or just naive? Well, maybe it matters and maybe it doesn't, but I don't think we were being naive at this point. I think we could smell the end of the route was drawing near, and while we didn't wish away seeing more of Nevada, we also relish accomplishing a goal. Okay, open or bust. With a quick stop at the local Pahrump Starbucks to satisfy our coffee addiction, we headed out on the last leg.
Okay, it's a good morning. I got my Starbucks because we're in town in Pahrump, just getting back to the route, and life is feeling so good today. When someone else makes your coffee and it's really good, I love it. Although I do love my camp coffee, but this is a nice treat. So, let's go to Oatman!
Oh no, it's one of these again, Kate.
But Nevada had one last cruel joke to play on us this morning. More washouts.
This is an armpit road.
30 miles of missing road.
These are huge.
It was a very hard way to start the day.
I'm having a hard time on this with 35s.
No, it's an armpit, literally and figuratively. You should have spot me again, Will. I'm sorry.
This is my least favorite part of the trip so far.
I mean, come on. It's just painful, Will.
I never want to do this road again.
I have scraped the bumper. I don't want to talk about how many.
On my phone, here we go.
Only 10 more miles. Just keep looking forward, never look back.
Don Quijotos! It's not like it's just beautiful the entire time. That's not this BDR. Parts of it are grueling, and this is one of them. Yesterday we had a grueling part as well. Now, we got to stay in some incredible places. So when we were out near Death Valley, we got to camp near these Joshua trees with the mountains all around us and a lake bed below us, and it was just absolutely gorgeous. And the price that we had to pay to camp there alone was that road, because the road was awful. I don't enjoy driving it. It's like you're going super slow, you're braking all the time, you're crawling over washouts, and it's like never ending. The same thing is happening right now. So we had a great campsite last night. I liked it just as much as any other campsite on this trip. The difference was we were looking down on city lights, but it was just as beautiful, and we got to sleep with our tent windows down because it was cool enough, and it was just really, really nice. Well, the price that we have to pay for that is this road, and it is a price. I'm not enjoying this. I wish this were over and we have another 10 miles of it. So I feel a little frustrated right now, to be honest, with this trail. But I have to keep in mind that that's just the price you pay.
We finally got a break from the washouts, only to find ourselves on another watershed road.
Is this a road or another one of these watersheds?
Honestly, I can't tell, but I'm hoping for road.
Looks like there is a path through here.
At this point, even though we were gaining elevation, it was just hot, and the surrounding hills told the story of intense sun and heat all year long.
All right, I think we're going to be on pavement for a bit, Kate, so why don't we air up?
Copy.
We don't have an air compressor yet for Trip, but we do have the Kraken air inflation system from Epic Adventure Outfitters on Finnegan. So we're gonna use that to air up the truck and get everything done faster than normal.
Well, it's fast, but it's pavement. Hey, we're taking the Mojave into the Mojave.
Feel home again.
Go to your home, truck. Go to your home. It looks like we're running the train track.
This section of trail takes us to the Abikwa'ame National Monument via train tracks, which we were glad to see were empty for the moment. And then it veers towards Bullhead City, but keeps you very close to the highways for a bit.
This is an in-between place, Kate. We're not really in the backcountry. We're not really on grid.
I don't know, is this our second or third time running this power line? Last time we ended up in a bog. Let's not do that again.
Pretty mountains, though. I feel like we're in the classic desert now.
Yeah, this definitely feels like southern Nevada.
Once we got away from the highways and power lines, the train changed once again to a more rocky environment with beautiful desert foliage thriving all around us. And it felt like we had slipped back into the Nevada backcountry.
I wonder what's over this hill.
And just like that, we came across something totally unexpected.
Whoa, this is very different.
Yeah, this is very cool. You know, Will, it almost reminds me of like the City of Rocks.
We found ourselves in the middle of a prehistoric-looking mountain pass. The rocks seemed almost sculpted by artists, and we were totally floored by the beauty of it all.
Gosh, it's just beautiful every turn. Every time we come around a corner, it's just beautiful.
Here we were, approaching the end of a long journey, very close to big cities all around us, and no one was out here. This incredible desert landscape was all ours. It felt like Nevada was giving us a little parting gift.
I just don't understand why there are not more people out here. This is incredible.
Totally agree. I don't know why there is 0 people.
It was now late afternoon, but the end was in sight, so we pressed on, feeling the pull of completing the BDR.
I think we're getting close to Bullhead City. And from there, it's a straight shot to Oatman.
My goodness.
Okay, home stretch.
So we are on the final 30-mile stretch. We just came through this Lake Mead recreation area. It's also, it's a recreation area, and I think it's like there's a wilderness area kind of in here as well. So we were really careful about how we filmed things, but wow. It was beautiful, striking, and so different than any of the other mountains that we've seen so far. I mean, it's like so cool to have something that beautiful right at the end of a trip like this, like 30 miles out from the end of the trail. You get that, which just kind of fuels the rest of the drive today. I mean, it just totally lifted my spirits and made me kind of love this route again after I was hating it earlier today. So well done, BDR crew, especially if you're running it north to south. This little tidbit at the end is so good. Loved it. Now 30 miles of Oatman. Can't believe we might finish this today. I can't believe it. Just can't believe how quickly we've done this, how amazing it's been. I'm just kind of processing, not even processing. It's all such a blur. It's gonna be really weird for it to be over.
Oddly enough, even though we're so far from Boise, this final stretch into Oatman felt like we were coming home.
I'm a little in disbelief that we're almost to the end.
I think this will be a 1,000-mile plus trip when it's all said and done.
I had no idea from looking at the map and Google Earth how gorgeous this ending was going to be.
Well, this is downtown Oatman.
Now I'm my heart with a head on my shoulders, and I'll say that I'm a different child.
Unbelievable.
Now I'm my heart with a head on my shoulders, and I'll say that I'm a different
Now we're on the old Route 66.
Now I'm my heart with a head on my shoulders, and I'll say that I'm a different child.
from Jarbidge, Nevada, 900 plus miles, dirt roads. What a trip.
What a trip. I think it's going to take me a few weeks to unpack it all in my mind, like everything that happened.
You know, this adventure was pretty intense. It was intense for me, but it was intense for Kate.
I went through all the emotions of like super confident, and then I had a couple mishaps, and then I was not confident at all.
They were, you know, this was challenging. This was challenging for me.
I scraped that trailer hitch a lot, and probably the back bumper a few times as well.
It was also really rewarding. The vistas that we saw, the ridges, the roads, the roads that we drove on, were just stuff that I'd never done before, never experienced that before.
It was a whole different experience from riding, but I liked driving. It was so much more active, and I felt like I was in the trip. I had done a lot of the research on the route, and so I just felt completely in it and completely submerged in the adventure.
I have a whole new appreciation for what Nevada is and what this route is. And running it the way we ran it from north to south, I loved it.
I feel like I just learned a lot. I feel like I got a lot more comfortable driving. I feel like I had a lot more comfort just overlanding in general, because I had to do it by myself.
It's going to be an amazing memory that we all share together, the whole family, and keep with us forever. Instead of staying in Oatman tonight,
we're gonna go to Vegas.
Are we cheating? I don't know.
I mean, we made it to the end, so let's go to Vegas and celebrate. Let's go donate some money to the casinos and celebrate. So we were thinking about camping near Oatman tonight, but we have an idea we want to run by you guys.
What?
Instead of camping in Oatman tonight, what if we just went to Las Vegas right now?
And spending an extra night?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah?
Yeah!
Where you going, man? Oh. Now I'm confused.
I'm a dinosaur. I'm a dinosaur.